Hold on a sec. Sorry.
Oh, good. I'll pull up a photo. So LeBron, one of LeBron's millions of projects is Uninterrupted. At what stage was this? Where were you coming from when you landed this gig?
So this is funny. I was working with Ross. This is a crazy time in my life, man. So I was working with Ross. The apartment that I was staying at the time, everyone was moving out. Just the group kind of, I wouldn't say got evicted, but like people were just going different ways. And I had no place to stay because I wasn't making enough money at the time. So this was a point in my life where, this can sound crazy, but I would literally book a bus ticket on a Monday to Las Vegas, spend Monday through Wednesday in Vegas because I had comp dollars because I have a Caesars rewards card. So all I had to pay was like a room tax for those nights instead of spending like, money here at a hotel and whatnot. Then I would take a bus back on Thursday to work for Ross Matthews' show. And then whatever I got paid for that day would become like my money for the rest of the week. Like, so I was like living half in Vegas, half in Los Angeles, spending time on other people's couches. I slept in a 24-hour fitness hot tub a few times because I had a membership. Like, and I got lucky, man. I was on LinkedIn one day and the guy from Uninterrupted, the EP of podcast productions, just connected with me, and I immediately messaged him and we got into a conversation. I pitched myself as a host, but he's like, no, we're looking for podcast producers. Can you do that? And I said, yes, of course. Mm-hmm. He called me and interviewed me on the spot. And then, I made the second round of interviews. I, went there the next week and, I got lucky. I they chose me and then I had a career from podcast, like actual career instead of like freelancing.
Yeah.
That's how I got it.
Now I want to know about LeBron and the excellence that probably goes on with his company. Like there's no half stepping with that situation, but did you almost want to fold when you were in this weird situation where you're like, I can't leave LA because I want to stick on with Ross at the moment. That was the biggest thing you were doing. And there was like you said, a lot of connections, but those connections sometimes aren't heavy paying connections. I mean, did you want to pack it up and try something different, or were like, I mean, you cried, right? Like actual tears.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
I mean, we're grown, but I'm gonna, many
tough,
tears
man.
I have shed.
I was going through, on top of that, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I was going through a lot of shit in my personal life, like a lot of shit. So to compound all that, like I was just in a bad spot. And, I think a reason why I stayed is because I didn't know what else to do, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know I had this connection with Ross, who treats me great. Ross was amazing to work with. And I got paid a decent amount. When I say decent, I mean enough for me to feed myself and spend a night or two at an Airbnb if I had to. That was the only thing I had that paid me at the time. So I wasn't like, I used to donate plasma and do audience work. Like I did, I'm telling you, man, like I did a lot of shit.
He donated sperm. He got kids out there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. I just think the thing that kept me going was, that advice that the people who stay are the people who make it. And I had a belief in myself. I'm like, if Red Bull music is casting me and stuff, if I'm getting casted for all these things, even though they're not making it, like there's some type of thing here. Like there's a reason why people are reaching out to me. And I knew I could do the job. Like I knew I could do what other people were doing. So I stuck with it, man. But I'm not gonna lie, man, it was tough. Like I was this close to like quitting.
I almost wish there was like a fund for people who are in that situation, because like you're choosing between rent or sleeping on someone's floor, but you're so close. Like people wouldn't even know that you weren't making enough to kind of sustain everything, but you're like building and having that sweat equity. What a relief to go in and work on this professional level. What is it like to work with the likes of a LeBron James company, and how do things run? Are they as magnificent as you would think, or did you feel right up to par, or did they kind of sweep you from the ground running and kind of take you to the next level? How did that feel?
It was dope. I had a great time at Uninterrupted. I don't work there anymore, but I have nothing but good things to say about the people who work there. The pod squad, we call ourselves. Every single person that I worked with, was fantastic and were great at their jobs. And, when I think Uninterrupted, I just think cool. Like they just bleed coolness and dopeness. And to be a part of that and to be a part of that brand was really cool. And then to actually lead a few podcasts on top of that when we're talking sports, and this is what I wanted to do for a living. So, it definitely made me feel accomplished. You know, everybody who was there helped me in some sort of way. They never made themselves out to be better than me or higher than me or works. They always like, you know, were collaborative. And I've always appreciated that. I mean, you know, years from now, you know, whether I work for them again or don't, or whatever happens with the company, whatever happens with my career, I always look back at that time, you know, those 3 years when Uninterrupted, where, you know, I really like got my foot on the ground and like as a professional. And, you know, I definitely value my time there. It was a great company to work for.